Exact same thing you did.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, CPI Day, or is it called CPLI Day? I don't know.
The Consumer Price Index is based on a basket of goods handpicked by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and it does not always reflect, exactly what the consumer feels on, a typical American feels from day to day. It's just it's handpicked to reflect, whatever they want it to be. It used to be based on like what a stick of butter and a gallon of milk and a loaf of
Oh,
bread.
it's going green. Oh, it's going green. What kind of reaction was that? Was it a good CPI? Was it a cool CPI? Is it going to go skyrocket to the moon now?
Oh yeah, it's pulling away to the downside from the 1 hour Ichimoku conversion line. SPY just crossed 584.55.
Yep.
Well, it looks like it's risk on, and Tesla is going higher. Tesla's out 321.50. It's back over that. Let's see. I was calling for 320.13. I think it was. I can't remember from this chart, but so now it looks like three. A different chart. No, it's the right chart. Where are my numbers? Yeah, it looks like maybe it wants to go higher to. Let's look for 335 next. Even though I've got 350 with next. Well, yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, maybe 22.
All right. Well, we can just get started and
All
visit
right.
Tesla
Yeah.
soon. So let's go take a look here at SPY. So yeah, we had some data that CPI come out, and it's kind of muted a little bit. It went up to $1 above pre-market, but now it's just kind of flattening out. So I mean, if we look at this chart, it's really still near resistance. So I wasn't really expecting this to be broken this week, anyways. But if it does get broken, that'll be a pleasant surprise. But right now we are just range bound in this zone here, and the zone is kind of wide. But we had a breakout. So I mean, the breakout was a gap up. Now we have resistance 585. Support is all this below the or above the cloud here. So yeah, it could even be back down to the 570s if it chose to. But this is a bullish breakout, right? This is what I was waiting to see above the 50, above the cloud. And this is something that's looking more and more bullish for the future. But will it go retrace a little bit? Only time will tell. So we'll see how the reaction plays out after the market opens. With QQQ, it did go up a little bit too, but we already had a breakout above all this resistance, and now everything is support, right? Including this 497 below. So could it come back down and back test? Of course, but I think QQQ. I was just telling Tracker, it looks like it wants to outperform the market again. It looks like tech stocks can be back in style. And it looks like I think we have the potential to go back up to the previous all-time highs and even break this 1.618 this time and go much higher. But just be a little bit cautious in this zone, though, because we are kind of just floating there between all of this resistance up top and all of this support down below. So we could come back down to retest that support before sending it higher. But it's bullish. IWM, it's looking like it wants to go up above the 208.74 pre-market after this CPI news, and I think that we're going to see maybe a battle this week to see if it can actually flip it to support. So if it does, that'll be great, and it'll have the potential to even go up to the top of the cloud or the 50-week moving average at the 214 or 216 zone. So something that's really a positive development here, and it just gapped up nicely. So if it stays above 208.74 the whole week, then I don't know if it really needs to come back down towards this 100-week moving average below. So let's watch that number throughout the whole week here. And with Bitcoin, we can see that we got a back test of our linear scale, 102.076. And if you guys remember from yesterday, I'm really watching the log scale, and it even got that back test of the log scale as well, and it's still above. So 103.611, we are watching that for the whole week. But this zone looks mighty good, especially after back testing even this linear scale fib too. I do like to see that 102 get tested, going a wick through there. So now the goal is just to establish a base on this higher level. And if so, that's going to be really, really nice for the crypto market.
All right. Yeah, I was gnashing up my teeth over the my charts this morning. It's like before the CPI report, it really is in a place it's either going to go up a lot or go down a lot, and I guess it's going to go up a bit now. Um, Here was my Bitcoin chart. I was worried that if it fell below 103,067, then we could get a rug pull uh, that could take us all the way down to 94,000. But we now, and if it continues to stay above 103,067, then it probably is going to want to go up to 109,060 or even 110,811. And these are just using Matt's fibs again, is 127.2 retracement extension and the 141.4. So this was in case we lost 103,067. Over here, in case we get a new higher high to then yeah, it would probably go to 109,356. I've got this case where it goes back down. Well, I guess we'll just. Oh my God! Looks like we're going to get at least a retest of the all-time high here next. So hooray! Tesla, I was also looking for a potential rug pull, or well, it was just basically a gap fill and then back. If we get a higher high, then maybe this extends. Earlier, I was saying 321, and it went higher, or 319 went higher than that. So looks like where is that? Like 350 next. Let's watch the 618 extension for 350.22 as my next target. How about you, Matt? What do you think about Tesla on your chart?
Tesla for me, we can go to my screen here. You can hear me, right? Just making sure I'm not on mute.
I can hear you. Yep, totally. Yep. No, you're good.
Okay. All right, so for me, Tesla, we can see that price is going up a little bit pre-market, but we are at resistance still, guys. We have. I just want to take everything off so you can see that the bull market support band right here, or sorry, not the bull market support band. Where's the Bollinger Band? Actually, it's resistance flipping to support, or trying to, right? We have the 20-week moving average right here on the Bollinger Band, and we can see that it did gap up above it. It wicked below it. So what I meant is we have resistance trying to flip to support. So this is the level I'm going to be watching the whole week, 322, or sorry, 316.90 right down here. And as long as that 316.90 holds, I think it's going to have a great chance of just continuing higher. So that's going to be my main focal point for Tesla, 316.90, previous resistance, flipping back to support for the potential to continuation higher. So it looks great.
Yeah, let's see.
Looks
Your
fantastic.
886 is 353, and I think I saw your Ichimoku weekly baseline was up at 351. Is that right?
Yeah, so and that coincides with all this, even the arc up here too. So I think this is going to be the next major resistance zone. And as I mentioned before, I think Tesla loves to respect the market symmetry the most of everything. So I think price is probably going to gravitate to that arc up there, just like it gravitated all the way down to this symmetrical support down here. So I think we're looking pretty good for a continuation to the 350s, in my opinion, for
All right,
Tesla.
that sounds good to me. I'll call that a consensus for 350, 351.
Consistent. Yeah.
Consensus, yeah.
Let's talk about coins, since they got added, or they're going to get added to the S&P on the 19th. And here's my coin GAN. And you know what? It was waiting to break out above this blue level of my GAN here. And some news just did it. And we can see that now it's getting above the arc here. It's getting above a lot of other resistance. We can put on the SMA here. It's even trying to get above that 50-week moving average as we speak right now. And that's at 227.87. And it's trying to get back inside the cloud. And you know what's funny? Like on my Patreon last Friday, I talked about this earnings report how it was bad. I think I talked about it yesterday too. And then the following week was just a monster candle. I'm like, you know what? These last week's earnings were terrible too. So it wouldn't surprise me to get a monster candle. And it's kind of developing that way right now. So it's pretty interesting that this is playing
Delayed
out just how it
reaction.
did. Yeah. Bad earnings, bullish engulfing the following week. Bad earnings, bullish engulfing the following week. So let's watch this 227.87 hold. And if it does, then guess what? The baseline's up here at 240. So we could see continuation if price can stabilize on top of this 227.87 throughout the whole week. So that's what I'm watching.
And if you'll switch to my chart, I just want to share my Coinbase chart where, based on my fib extensions, my next target is 260.11 at minimum. It should at least go to this 382.60.11. It just has to break through this 23.6 fib as resistance now to then become support when it revisits later. And you can see here on this weekly Ichimoku, it's almost exactly well, I kind of drew it to follow Ichimoku. So 11 at minimum is my next Coinbase target, which means, let's see, my Con L. Come on, Con L. Yeah, I'm looking for 41.96 next in Con L. This fib right here, 41.96, which in percentage wise, from where price is right now. Well, actually, wait, I got to go to the 8-hour chart. Oh, I'm sorry, where price is now. It's up higher in pre-market. 84% higher. 84% higher than price right now. So there you go. Like in Con every day. All right, Matt, what are we doing next?
Yeah, take some requests. Why not? Just jump on it.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Let's just jump on it then. What UNH? I feel like I did that once. Is that? It's not United Healthcare. It's United Health Group. Oh my God. What is going on with this chart? Okay, so it made a new lower low. That automatically makes me not like it very much. On the weekly, no, monthly. Well, it's wow. They just didn't. Nobody liked the earnings. So now UNH, I just have to redraw the chart a little bit. Let's go back here. So if this is the bottom, and it may not be yet because you get participation of the full market. Really, you really should ask me this tomorrow, because it might go down even a little farther once the market opens here. But basically, I'd say the next resistance higher is it'll try to get to 441. Actually, I need to bring on the 11.4s. 7.4. All right, for UNH, the magic number is from where it bottomed, trying to get to 13% higher over the 386, so then it can challenge the 23.6 at 441, which is 29% higher, and hopefully it should get at minimum back to the 382 at 506.72 for 48% higher, and then that would become potentially resistance, test back to the 236, and then on to the 1236. But ask me again after it's had a day or two to for the market to. I could do hymns. Let's look at hymns because I haven't looked at it since yesterday. 8. All right, so this is interesting with hymns. I'm still looking for a pullback, and I'm not. It hasn't really given us one since my wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 618. I don't know. This is such a crazy chart. Let's see if 53.38 holds, which would kind of close the gap. Maybe the 132, 51.68. I mean, if it breaks and makes a new higher high, then it's probably just going to go straight to this 68.01, which from where price is right now is another 21%. But their downside risk is maybe as much as 17% down, but maybe only 7% down from here. I don't know. HIMS is kind of nuts. I kind of stopped trading this one, where the wave 1 topped out and then the wave 2 pullback, and then I was going to trade the wave 3 in here. What else? Rocket Lab.
I got a UNH chart actually. I wanted to share. Yeah, I wanted to just point this out because, in my opinion, this is really how bear markets start for stocks. And you can see this is a monthly chart, and it just cut through this fib, it cut through the 50-month moving average, starting to bearish engulfing through the cloud. That kind of set it up for going back down to the bottom of the cloud, but now we're even continuing lower pre-market down to the 340s here. So if it goes below the monthly cloud, you guys have to see this. It's the last time it was below that monthly cloud was back in 2010. And this, you saw it last time it happened. It just kept going lower and lower and lower down to the 200-month moving average. So, I mean, the 200-month moving average is way down there in the 220s. So I do not like this setup at all, right? Anytime it breaks below a monthly cloud, this is really how bear markets start, right? They really start this way. And you can see that any kind of move back up now towards this 370s is probably going to get rejected and then just roll over. So I think it's probably going to at least go back down to the December 2018 highs, maybe the 287, right? I think that's probably at the minimum target for UNH now, right? It's just something that looks terrible to me, and breaking lower during this monthly candle does not look good. So I don't think it's going to stop there. I think, yeah, it can come back up to the cloud, to the 370s. That's fine, but I don't know if it's really going to break back into the cloud anytime soon now that it's broken below. So UNH, terrible setup, terrible stock, terrible chart. But let's see. I mean, the month isn't over, though. There's still 17 days left, so it could just turn into a long wick and then close above. So I can't, like, rule it out because I need to wait for confirmation completely. So it could save itself by some miracle, right? So you can just watch that 375.08. Like, if we can close back above that by the end of May, there could be some saving grace to this stock. But if not, if it closes the month below all this stuff right here under the 370s, then yeah, I think it's going lower and lower and lower.
All right. Thanks, Matt. Yeah. Look out for those bear market stocks. They have their own little mini microclimate.
Yeah.
So that crow sound you heard was Bitcoin falling back to 103,600, and just now it just tested the top of my moving average 75 on the 1 hour chart as support, and we're back above it again. So let's see how it goes from there. I've got Rocket Lab here. Same chart. I'm looking for at minimum $25.33 next, and 2108 would be its support if it came back down from there. It's possible for it to extend to the 618 or the 764 if it got really bullish. But one crime at a time. Let's see how we do with the 382 here. It's 2533. And then after 2108, it goes on to the 1236 at $50.22. So getting it right here at the 236 is a good deal. If you rode it through the heart of the third wave, that would give you 140% return. And then I'll take on. Do you have another, Matt? I'll try the CPNG.
Yeah, I can do a Bitfarms here. So I see that chart. And yeah, Bitfarms, perfect touch of the back test last week of the conversion line, breakout back test, and also the 45-degree angle. So now we can see price kind of wants to gravitate higher. So I'm going to be watching this orange level next for resistance, 124. Then you got the 382, 132. So I think it's going to gravitate in that zone. Looks better and better. So I'm not too worried about miners anymore. I think what we're going to start to see is some impulse moves higher pretty soon, and maybe some giant candles like we've seen in the past, right? I'm going to prepare for that. But could we back test a little bit lower first? Of course. But I love this kind of development. Like it's basically a trend reversal. Something that was in a downtrend now is in a V bottom uptrend. So we are looking better and better for Bitfarms, for all the miners really. And I think over time they're just going to gravitate higher. So great.
All right, cool. I do have CPNG. It's Coupang Incorporated, and my weekly chart. It's just at an ABC retrace, basically from the. It opened at its all-time high, and then like lost all this value, and then bounced off the bottom. It already argued the 11.4, 23.6 was resistance, but now it seems the April 7th bottoming here. So yeah, the 382 is my next target for Coupang at 31.91, which is 22% higher from where where price was yesterday's close. Oh, it has moved that much from the close. It's 26.09. Okay, and then it should probably test back to the $23.14 for the wave B support, and then it'll probably want to go to the 618 and then retest this wick right here back in history for 46.07, which for prices right now, it's 76% higher. If you're able to grab it at the I% move overall from B to C. There you go, CPNG. OUST.
All right. Did you do SOFI yet? Or no?
No, I did not do SOFI.
All right, let me
You
jump
don't do
on that
SOFI.
one.
The magic number of SOFI is $14. Just remember, cat's $14. If it's under it, you
Yeah,
buy
with
it. If
his
it's over it, hang on to it.
with his Jackie Chan. All right, so SoFi, my magic number is stay above 1369. So it's doing that, right? It even gapped up above it. It even back tested it yesterday. It went down to 1368 yesterday. So I love that, right? Breakout, back test. That's what I live for. That's everything that I love so much. And yeah, now the continuation higher is there. We can see the orange arc above is around $15, maybe 1540, 1530, depending on time. But yeah, all I care about is this 1369. Stay above it, it goes higher, right? And then we can see the next fibs up here, 16 bucks, 18 bucks. This 786 is going to be the holy grail to break above. Once it breaks above there, then it's basically going to go to all-time highs. So this is looking better and better, and I like this breakout back test completed.
All right, I've got the OUST here. Alster Incorporated weekly chart. It's another one where it started on high and just like lost. Well, it didn't start up, but then it like lost more than 50% of its if it can't hold 50% of the initial IP bad. But if it one thing is I kind of drew on this chart last time, it kind of looks like it's a bearish wedge up and might just drop again. But if it doesn't, if 321 is the low, and we're all the way up here at 1147 now, or at least we closed there yesterday, then yeah, look for a ABC retrace from here. It's got to get about over the 1106. That'd be double what it is now almost. Oops, I missed. 382's up here, 236, and then there's not. I don't know. Here's the 618. It's hard to say if it went 78.6 up here where you see there's a big sell order block actually. So yeah, okay, it's worth risking a little bit. Just keep a stop under maybe $10 or at $10. So from our prices right now, just to get to 11.4 is 100% higher. Ooh. To get to 236 is 285% higher, and to get to 382 is 510% higher. So high risk, high reward, OUST. Oh, Matt Lark asked for my CLDI chart. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
My CLDI chart still. Oh, it just needs a good stick save here. It did bottom at 35 cents. And where is this fib? It's the order block detector. It's got a lot of improvement to do. It would have to get to 76 cents just to get back to 11.4, which is 68% higher. And if it wants then to the 236, it's got to fight that. That's 167% higher. And then the 382 would be the initial resistance I'd expect at $1.70. or 276% higher. I've got a bunch of this. My cost basis is $1.31 through all this pain. I'm still holding it. They have a good product. I just need to be a little more patient next time when I'm telling you, biopharma, it's always biotech's tough. Like I think I said this already the last 2 times. It's like buying a precious metals miner. You you buy it and you hold it forever, and then, like, it goes up, it makes this great run, like, 1 day or 2 days, then you have to sell the pop, and then it, like, drops back down again, and then you wait forever. Alright, Matt, back to you.
Yeah, the SMLR, similar
Ooh.
scientific, stuck in a range, right? We got this 236 fib right down here at 31.25. You got the green level of my GAN that cannot be broken. We have not closed a weekly candle above it since right here, which was just a fake out back on March 17th. Range bound, right? Even pre-market, it's not above it. So that level is around 37.64, and that's what I'm looking to break for a bullish continuation. Until then, this is your range. It's a volatile stock, very volatile stock. So this is your range, 31.25 up to the $38 zone. So nothing's going to change until either one of those are broken. And just mind you, there still is this not back there's not a back test of this arc down here, so just wanted to point that out because it did break out, but it never fully back tested the symmetry down here. So if it can't break this resistance above, then I would expect it to back test that. So it's got to start breaking resistance soon, or else could be at risk to go lower first before higher.
Alright, I've got this one I've never seen before, in Indivior, INDV, and I was just adjusting this to 1 more penny higher. Uh Well, this one really took a dive from, the April 7th event, April 7th correction. So from a high of 33.60 all the way down to $1.75, but then it recovered quickly to, 26.08. I need to reverse. Yeah, look, it went right to the 786, got resisted, went down to the 236, and found support. So let's do a fib extension from here to here. Here. In other words, for this to get a new all-time high, it's got to get past the 78.6% boss at 2678, which I have no doubt it'll end up doing here in time. Let's move these fibs to the left. All right, so let's see. A 5-wave impulse to the. It seems like there's a lot of interest around the 618. Let's go for it. 618 236 1236 764 2236. So this ends at 6226. Support here at the 764 and wave 3 at the 123.6. So yeah. So look for 2263 next. That's pretty. That would be a pretty good run. Just to get to the 382 is about 46% higher. To get to the 61.8, where there's a big, there's a whole bunch of resistance on the way there, but that draws my eye right there. That wick, that's 100% higher to 61. I'm sorry, $22.63. The 618. So there you go. INDV. You could just take a screenshot right there, and I'll give you all my little levels here on the right. All right. What's next?
Okay, I got AMD. AMD is reaching resistance right now. We can see the baseline is finally getting touched for the first time since it broke down since October of last year. That's a big deal. It's a huge deal right there. We got 110.30. That's the resistance zone to try to break above. But the main takeaway here is back above the blue level of my GAN here at the $98 zone. That's all that really matters for this bullish continuation. Even the monthly Ichimoku is beautiful. It did wick through it, got all that liquidity below it, closed above it. So monthly chart is on the right path now to go back to the 120s and 130s and above slowly over time. So it's I think it's going to be the beginning stages, the bottoming process of going higher. So AMD, just like I've been saying for the past, I think, what, 4 months now, I've been saying it's in the bottoming process. But I think this wick right here kind of concludes that. So we got what we were looking for, all of this liquidity grab below, and just over time, it's probably going to resume its uptrend.
All right. I've got a small change to my ACHR chart, Archer Aviation. Look at this wick right here. We had this Monday. I didn't see that. I would say it's not going to do 382.236. I'd say at minimum 618. Go back to the 236, maybe 382. And I don't. All right, so let's look for the 618 next. 1212 as resistance. And then ask me again after it hit 1212. But yeah, let's look for that. That would be a run from here. 27% higher. If I'm wrong, then it goes back down to 797, which you can see is the 8-hour moving average 75 down here. So that'd be 797. And so, gosh, that would be the opposite, would take us lower or versus 27% higher. But, I think we look good. You could put a stop below $9 here, ACHR. And then if this holds, if it goes 618, 382, if it stops at the 382, then it'll go to the 1382. Oops, which I don't have on this chart, but it's about, all right, Archer Aviation, little change.
Okie dokie. And I have, excuse me, NVIDIA. Did AMD. Now it's time for NVIDIA's turn. And I have the monthly chart pulled up here too, just to show you guys how bullish this chart is looking once again. We got a morning star monthly candle formation in the works here. We have the green level of the GAN reclaiming as a support. We have the conversion line 119.88 flipping back to a support potentially as well. And this is basically saying to me that if May closes above this 122 zone, then it's back to all-time highs, right? So I guess this was a mini little quote unquote bear market for NVIDIA, but yeah, I think it looks like it's really ready to continue its journey higher and get back above the 150s. So this is why you don't count things out. This is why I didn't sell 100% of my NVIDIA, just took some profits before it did that huge dive. But now it's looking better and better for a continuation. So let's watch this 119, 121, 122 zone for the rest of the month. And if so, NVIDIA is going to get its bull back on and lead the market once again.
Yeah, and my NVIDIA chart just has my 23.6 fib extension. We just left it behind at 119.73. And the minimum move I'm looking for is the 382 to $140.60, which is 12% higher than prices right now. Or I'm sorry, yeah, where prices right now in pre-market. And I thought I'd show you this, Matt. I did this this morning. Here's my XRP USD chart in linear fashion. So based off of this low of 161 to this high of it's like 236, then back almost 208, we went to the 764. So I would expect to come back to the 382, and then the 1382 is up here at 311, back to the 100% at 283 almost, and then on to 386 the short term. The thing is, this is sort of exercise in futility, though, because I won't sell it. Let's see, if it really was, if I was absolutely 100% sure it was going to go down to $2.36, I still wouldn't sell. So much on the trading fee, and then the bid ask spread on the way down, and so that cuts my profit, and then I would lose a bunch in the trading fees and the bid ask spread buying it at the bottom, and so now it's less than a 4% gain that at best. So I'm not trading that. I'm not trading anything. I'm just waiting for XRP to go to 8. But I just thought I'd show you guys this. for fun.
Okay. I will
Can we
do
do net
one more myself.
94?
I'll do one more before I have to run away. Then you
Okay.
can do one more before we end. And I think we're doing the
Okay.
triumvirate tonight too, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay. So the last one I'm
I
going to
catch
do
that as voice
here
match.
is, yeah, I think he does. We're going to do ETH E. I haven't done this one, so that's why I chose it. So from the bottom here, back in 2019, we were watching this market symmetry play out pretty nicely, and it's going back up towards this big zone up here, which starts with the baseline at 2332. But the zone I'm really focused on for ETH is really this blue level right up here. So this blue level has been a major resistance zone in the past, and that's really around $30.86, maybe $31 if you want to round up. So get above that again, then yeah, ETH goes much higher. But right now, we are looking like we're going back up towards some resistance up here. So 2330s up to the $25 zone could be a big zone of resistance. We could see some kind of back test before breaking through. But yeah, it's looking a lot better now that it's back on top of the conversion line here. So we can just see that it has that potential to gravitate a little bit higher. But not sure if it's really looking for a breakout just yet. It's got a lot of resistance to break through before it does punch through all of this. So more time, but the chart is looking better and better. And Tracker, how do you want to end the show with
All
a
right.
stock?
I'm gonna end with this. I love this. It's a 3x daily Direxion daily semiconductor bull 3x stock. You can see it looks kind of cyclical here. And the first thing I did was I just drew a trend line, a falling resistance line, and a rising support line. So I wouldn't expect it to trade outside this range. And then the weekly moving average 75 is right about 33.26 ish. Right, it's going to drop over time. And then I pulled these fibs. These are just retracements from this $7.23 bottom back to the 70.30 high last time. So once again, maybe just a ABC 3826618. I guess I should flip this. Let's see to the right. There you go. And so here's your price levels right here. I wonder if that moving average 75, when this moving average 75 gets to the 382, is about when that'll hit. Perhaps that's all right. So 3132 is the next target. Let's see. Where are we now? Oh, yeah. Well, the price hasn't moved that much farther from where it closed yesterday. So about 75% higher to get to the 38.2% fib at 31.32. It still hasn't even crossed the 23.6 fib yet. So it might have some resistance here at 22.11. So there you have it. I might. All right. So
Perfecto.
the CPI report and Matt together have turned me from a feeling kind of bearish this morning to feeling a little bit more bullish. So me, I'll risk on today.
Yeah, we are still. Just remember with the SPY guys, if you guys remember the beginning of the show, we are at resistance still near 585. So don't celebrate too soon, because things could get volatile back to support before we really break out. But this overall very, very bullish development for stocks. Everything that was panicky is now a V bottom, has now broken out, and now we are just looking for some kind of back test before shooting higher. So I think the bull market's back on, and whether or not we need to back test or not, it's still undecided. So just going to be patient. But I think the people trading in and out are the ones that are kind of struggling the most, simply because sometimes they get left behind, right? And this gap up, the gaps up over the weekend usually do that. They leave a lot of people behind because people were expecting this close at resistance last week to get rejected and then just send it lower. So they were either shorting or they were not in stocks at all. And so when you see this kind of price action, it's usually confirmation things want to continue higher. So this is a great development for everything.
Woohoo! Thank you very much, Matt. All right, good luck out there, everybody.
Bye,
Stay
guys.
safe. Bye. See you tonight.